Do you think you have to own the home that you live in to build wealth?
Obviously, how our parents and the generations before us got wealthy was you own your home, you pay the mortgage, go to work, do whatever you need to do to pay it, and you get rewarded with the appreciation, right? Nowadays, appreciation, if you look at it, the amount they grew up, if we also exponentially grew in that rate, I have a feeling the currency is going to drop, and it's going to be a shit show. So I don't want to go there, but that would be a good way to start. It's good. Obviously, appreciation is a good. It's still going to happen.
Yeah.
But you're not going to see 1,000% returns.
Yeah.
Like how we saw in the recent few decades, right? Going back to owning home, so you can and you cannot. So what I would suggest nowadays, I'm very strong on this. Having a primary residence without an investment property is not the way to go. So if you're going to buy a property, buy one, but don't live in it yet. Because technically, if that's your first property, you're not going to buy it in cash, right? So you have debt on the property, which now could change in interest depending on your rate, whether it's fixed or variable. It's not like the U.S. where we have 25-year fixed rate. So at least
30-year fixed.
30-year fixed, 24 whatever, right?
Someone commented on my video.
Yeah.
My video is called "How much car or house can you afford?" or whatever. I'm like, you can't afford it.
Yeah.
And someone from the US commented, and he was like, I locked in a rate of 2.99%, a 30-year fixed, and he bought a house for 165K. So he lived below his means. He was pre-approved for like 250. He bought it for 165. Obviously, they live a completely different, different world, right? Different world.
I mean, hey, you can still get those prices here.
Yeah.
Not Toronto, but in Canada.
Yeah.
But
Thunder
obviously,
Bay.
they're
Windsor.
they're nowhere.
Yeah.
Like US, at least they have those type of towns, but the population is much more for the land mass there is, right?
Yeah.
So it's more crowded. Whereas you have those prices
This
here.
is, by the way, he bought this in 2017.
Yeah, 2017.
Before the money printing and all that stuff.
Before the money print. So before that big jump.
Yeah.
You can still get good.
That same property is probably like 500K.
500K
right?
now, yeah. You can still get properties for like 200, 150, but you're looking at places where it's like nowhere, where there's no.
Like Edmonton.
Yeah, basically Edmonton, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, those places. But obviously, with those places, not much population, not much opportunities. The resources and amenities aren't also as accessible as Toronto or GTA, right?
Yeah.
So you got to look at that. So that
what do you think
also
of like
means-
investment properties in Alberta?
I was just going to get there. So
Yeah.
that also means that if that's not there, the appreciation is also not going to be much. Going back to your Alberta question, Alberta is a really great place to get for first-time investors or if you want to get into the market because the cost of entry is very cheap there. However, appreciation is not the best place to go there. If you're looking for cash flow, that's decent. You get some nice pockets in Calgary, Edmonton, where you could get some good cash flow on a monthly basis. But if you're looking for a quick buy, hold it for 5 years, and appreciate, get 100K, that's not happening.
How's the landlord-tenant board? Isn't Alberta like more like landlord-friendly than Ontario?
That's, again, I don't have personal experience with it, obviously, but that's what I've heard from people. They have landlord-friendly, probably because there's not as
They're trying to attract.
They're trying to attract more people into the country, obviously, to build the population. The only way to do that is the younger generation because they're looking for workforce, things like that, or immigrants coming into Toronto, which is way too expensive. What are they going to do? They're going to go Alberta, Nova Scotia, anywhere, right? Other than Toronto or BC.
Yeah.
So what they're going to do, they're going to bring that in. But most of those newcomers are tenants. They're not really owners. So what they're going to do is they're going to give the power to the owners of that way. That way it'll be more of, have more owners and get more ownership of the properties, get more market cap in that real estate for that province, and then bring the tenants in. That way there's more demand, more supply, right? And then who knows, maybe later on, just like Ontario, they might change the laws. But,
Later on, right?
They're just waiting for some economic growth, and then the real rules will come out.
Yeah.
So,